what's going on in the foreclosure courts right now? What's going on in foreclosure courts right now is the judges and the magistrates are setting trials at record paces. In other words, there's a lot of cases in the system, and they're moving them through the system. They're setting trials for 15 minutes a pop. There's absolutely no way a person can try a case, an attorney with two attorneys, a plaintiff and a defendant, try a foreclosure case in 15 minutes. So what's happening is a lot of pressure is being put on not only the attorneys, but the court system itself to handle this volume of trials being set. Why are cases getting dismissed? They're getting dismissed because the plaintiff, meaning the mortgage company or the mortgage servicer, whoever filed this lawsuit, cannot prove their case. So what they're doing is voluntarily dismissing the cases. Now, what does that mean when your case is voluntarily dismissed? Does it mean you're going to get a free house? No, that doesn't mean that at all. What it means is that the plaintiff could not prove its case, and therefore they decided to take a mulligan, if you will, and say, hey, I'm going to walk away from it this time, but they always can refile in the future. Tack that on to what I blogged about this morning at DelutryLawGroup.com on our mortgage modification blog. There's supposed to be a record number of foreclosures filed in the year of 2011. How they get this information, I have no idea, but I'm glad it's out there. And the reason why is now that I know there's going to be an avalanche of foreclosures, I get the opportunity to tell you if you get served with foreclosure papers, you've got to see an attorney. And the reason why, even though there's a tidal wave building, it's kind of really far offshore right now. So there's going to be a wave of foreclosure litigation coming that you can't imagine. The bottom line is that if the mortgage companies cannot prove their cases and then they come back and refile again, the hope is that you're not going to fight them on it and the case can get pushed through the system. And then, of course, they get a judgment and the case moves on. Here's my fear. What if somebody went through the foreclosure process, had their house taken by a company or a bank or a securitized trust that did not own the loan? What does that mean? Well, let's say, for example, I sued you for foreclosure and I took your house and I alleged that I held the note and the mortgage, but I really didn't. Do I own your house at that point in time? Probably not. I don't think so. I've done something, in my opinion, that's fraudulent, which means that the original homeowner still owns that house, in my opinion. So now this person's been displaced, they've been tossed out of their home, and where does that leave everybody else? I don't know. What about the person, the investor, who went and bought that house on the courthouse steps for $60,000 after a wrongful foreclosure sale, wrongful foreclosure and subsequent sale? Does that person have a clear title that can't be challenged later? I don't think so. I think that investor's got a huge problem. And then what about the company that insured the title? Bigger problem, in my opinion. Folks, I think this is, again, tip of the iceberg on what's going on out there, and I'll be honest with you, I don't have all the answers to this. I don't even know the questions that are going to be asked yet. So there's a lot coming on that.